Steve Warrington is one of the most well-known names in harness racing. During his decades in the business, he's not only trained some incredible horses, such as champion pacing mare Sanabelle Island, but Warrington has also competed at tracks all over the country. However, for about the past 3 years, the Galena Maryland resident hasn't been training or driving any horses. But that all changed this year. And recently, I headed to Harrington Raceway and caught up with Steve in the paddock.
Stevie, welcome back. What have you been doing?
Heather, it's good to see you again. You're looking as good as ever. What have I been doing? Well, about the most exciting thing that's happened to me is I've got a pond down in the backfield, and I cleared out around it and put some picnic tables and planted some fruit trees and bushes. And anyhow, it was about the middle of the summer. I took a 5-gallon bucket down there to see if there was any fruit. And when I got down there, there was a bunch of young ladies skinny dipping in the pond. So I shook the bucket so they would see me, and they all screamed and swam out in the middle, and one of them said, "We ain't coming out, so you might as well leave." And I just picked up my bucket and said, "I didn't come down here to see a bunch of young girls walking around butt naked. I came down here to feed the alligator."
Oh my gosh. See, I thought the punchline was going to be they were mermaids.
No, that's the most exciting thing that's happened to me.
Well, I know you got a big farm, and you
Yeah.
got to tend to a lot of stuff on the farm.
I'm a professional grass cutter, fence fixer, you name it, house repair. I mean, we got a bunch of old horses that out in the field I take care of, and I'm fooling with this one green trotter. He's coming along slow, and got another one to break this fall, but and still when I have time I'm playing music. No crowd though, you know, ever since his sickness set in, the virus, and so that's about it.
Now you may be wondering, who is this quote-unquote green trotter Steve mentioned? Yes, he's the one who enticed Warrington to come back to the track, and his name is Zero Dark 30. The 3-year-old is a son of Hall of Fame trotter Muscles Yankee out of the mare Pittstop Ruthie, who is a winner of over $300,000 during her career. Zero Dark 30 is co-owned by Steve and Don Gannon and Blackhorse 6 Stable, which is made up of Don's brother, Frank Dobrisky, and his wife, Dee.
Danny, my brother's nephew and niece, owned the mare. And his nephew actually worked for me years ago. He went in the Army for, I guess, 25 years, and he got out of the Army, and they started breeding this mare, and so they foaled her at my place, and we just made some kind of deal, so that's how we got it. But it's Danny's nephew and niece and myself, and then we got a full sister to him to break this fall. So it's kind of cool.
Does that name, Zero Dark 30, sound familiar? Well, it should. The trotter is named after the mission to find Osama bin Laden, which also became a blockbuster movie with the same name. Coming up with the Zero Dark 30 name was co-owner Frank Dobrisky. Frank was on active duty in the Army for 20 years and retired in 2012 as a master sergeant. As a horse lover his entire life, Frank was also with the Caisson platoon for 6 years, where he completed 850 military funerals. And one of the horses we can credit his family for being in the Caisson platoon is the great riderless horse named Sergeant York, who is a retired standardbred. Zero Dark 30 has taken his time getting to the track. The trotter didn't race as a 2-year-old, but now as a 3-year-old, he has had 7 starts with 2 wins, a second, and 2 thirds. And true to his military-themed name, Zero Dark 30 struts his stuff on the track in proud fashion, wearing World War I United States Army bridle rosettes made out of copper. And another piece of embellishment worn by the trotter is a charm of the patron saint of pets and livestock, Saint Anthony. Now, Steve has not taken over the driving duties. However, as the trainer of Zero Dark 30, it looks like Warrington will be a regular once again at the races.
So we'll see you here each week, like with this horse, hopefully?
Should be, yeah. We're going to be around, and I see Jimmy so he can, if I got anything to tell you, I'll tell him to send it over.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you so much. Thanks for telling me the story about the pond.
Yeah.
Good information. I'll know not to go skinny dipping in any strange ponds, so that's always good to know.
All right. Nice to see you.
Thanks, Phoebe.